Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing the news that is coming in that Spain has recalled the ambassador from Israel. So, of course, the countries have their ambassadors and their consulates in different countries. The same was the case with Spain, who had their ambassadors in Israel, but those have now been called back. So we will understand why this decision has been taken, what are the reasons for it, what are the repercussions from it, and what is the response of Israel on it. So what has happened is Spain, the country Spain, or basically the government of Spain, is one of the strongest critique has criticized the war that is going on in Gaza. In fact, it has called it not even a war, but rather a genocide that is being done by Israel in Gaza, is what Spain mentions. So they are one of the strongest critiques of the ongoing Gaza war. Now, in addition to that, they also joined Norway and Ireland in recognizing the Palestinian state. So yes, Spain is a country which has recognized the Palestinian state. At the same time, it is the first European nation for seeking United Nations Court's participation with respect to South Africa's plea in the genocide case. So South Africa had plead in front of the United Nations Court with respect to the genocide case against Israel, and Spain became the first European nation to basically support that particular thing. So this has been the background wherein you can clearly see that Spain has been a staunch supporter of Palestinian state. They have recognized the Palestinian state and very rigidly, brutally, strictly against the genocide that they call, which is going on in the Gaza area. Now, in that backdrop, what has presently happened is Spain has called their ambassadors back from the country of Israel. Now, before we move ahead, in order to understand what were other reasons as well as what is Israel's response, a small announcement about the new batches that are going to start very soon. 22nd September and 16th October are the regular batches, and you have 4th and 25th October for the weekend batches, wherein you will be trained, taught and mentored by the experts in UPSC civil services examination. The significance of each batch that we have is the fact that the maximum size is only 40 for hyper personalized attention on each aspirant. The benefits that you will get is one-on-one mentorship, your doubt clearing sessions, your regular interaction with educators, and of course the maximum size is just 40. In addition to this, of course, the daily mains answer writing practice will be there in addition to the test series for prelims and mains. Another important aspect is 360-degree coverage of current affairs, in which an entire week's current affairs every single week is to be covered through the live classes of current affairs. So if you want to enroll with us, simply download the app or log on to our website or call the numbers that are mentioned on your screen. Let's continue with the news. Now, Spain's action, this action of Spain is not the very first and probably won't be the last one. Spain has done a lot more even before. So what all Spain has done, let us see. Here we are talking about the recalling of the ambassador from Tel Aviv, that means from Israel. That is one thing. In addition to that, Spain has also imposed permanent arms embargo with respect to Israel. That means it's not going to sell any arms, ammunition, etc. to Israel, because what do you use in war? What do you use in genocide? It is the arms and ammunition. So there are requests from Palestinian supporters, from Palestinian state, to stop the arms and put an arms embargo right now. Spain is one such country who has actually done that. Spain has also put ban on the imports from Israel, but not the entire Israel. The imports that are coming from those parts that have been occupied, that are the occupied territories that have been occupied by Israel. It has also banned put a ban on the entry for individuals that were involved in the Gaza war. So all the any individuals who would be involved in this particular war or genocide, as you may call it, they have put a ban on them as well. At the same time, a ban has been put on the Israel bound ships, aircraft, etc., which are carrying fuel for the armed forces through the Spanish ports. So if there is any ship, any aircraft that is carrying fuel and it is passing through the Spanish ports, etc., it has put a ban on that as well. So these are the things that Israel has done. In addition to this, it has increased the humanitarian aid to Gaza and raised it to $176 million. It has increased its support to the United Nations force, the United Nations Reserve Force, which are working in this region to support, to help, to provide humanitarian measures. At the same time, it has declared Prime Minister Netanyahu and other Israeli ministers as persona non grata. So persona non grata means people who are not welcomed. People who are not welcome. These are the people which Spain says that are not welcomed in their country. So that is what is meant by persona non grata. Now, of course, Israel is not going to keep quiet after this. So Israel has also responded, saying that Spain is basically being anti-Semitic, or it has basically alleged Spain of anti-Semitism. So what is anti-Semitism? Anti-Semitism is has a meaning which says that when any person or a community or a nation, anyone who's against the Jewish belief, the Jews, they follow Semitism. So anyone who's against the Jewish belief or the Jewish people are said to hold anti-Semitic tendencies or ideology. So that is what Spain has been accused of by Israel. At the same time, Israel have also banned the entry of Spanish ministers Yolanda Diaz and Sira Rigo, who are labor and youth ministers respectively. At the same time, Israel has called Spain's moves as political diversion from corruption. Now, that could be a possibility, but is that a justified argument enough? The justification of the argument should be based on the topic of discussion rather than on the fact that it could be a political diversion, just a food for thought. But yes, this is what Israel has actually claimed, that Spain is just simply diverting the issue because scandal of corruption, etc., is going on. They just want to divert that issue by using this news, is what Israel is saying. Now, there have been certain statements from the different leaders. Spanish Prime Minister himself, that's Pedro Sanchez, has called the Gaza war as genocide and violation of any form of humanitarian law that might have existed. At the same time, its aim is to apply pressure on Israel to reduce at least the civilian suffering that is there. However, in response, the Israel government and representative have responded. Israeli finance minister mentions that Spain's measures are anti-Semitic and it simply is diverting from the political issue that is going on in its own country. So Israel claims that Spain's domestic politics is driving Spain's stance on this particular issue. Now, what is the European Union stand on this? European Union is traditionally divided on the Gaza war. So Spain, Norway and Ireland on one hand are recognizing Palestine, at the same time wants the end to this genocide, whereas US and now US of course is not a part of European Union, but Germany is. Along with US, they remain strong Israel backers. So Germany, a part of European Union, is the country which is backing Israel in this. So now this reflects the polarization of European Union that is happening in two sides. One that sort of wants end to this genocide, second that supports Israel. So this is the present situation of of European Union on the ongoing Gaza war or genocide situation. Thank you.